In this lesson 7.1, we discuss about temperature scales and conversions. If you are new to this channel, please do not forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and do some comments. I post educational videos at least twice a week. So let's get started. Our lesson 7.1 has the following goals: to define heat and temperature and identify the various temperature scales. Goal number 2, to convert from one temperature scale to another. What is heat? Heat is the form of energy that is transferred between systems or objects with different temperatures, flowing from the high temperature system to the low temperature system, also referred to as heat energy or thermal energy. Heat is typically measured in BTU, calories, or joules. What is temperature? Temperature is a physical quantity that expresses the degree of hotness or coldness of a substance. It is the manifestation of thermal energy present in all matter, which is the source of the occurrence of heat, a flow of energy when a body is in contact with another that is colder or hotter. Temperature indicates that heat flows from the object with a higher temperature to the object with a lower temperature. Temperature is measured using thermometer. The four types of temperature scales. Do you need to know if you should put a coat on before you go out? Do you want to check if you can put the cookies in the oven? Temperature scales provide a way of quantifying and measuring how hot or cold a material is. There are four major temperature scales that are used around the world. Fahrenheit and Celsius are frequently used in everyday, around-the-house measurements, while the absolute zero-based Kelvin and Rankin scales are more commonly used in industry and the sciences. The Fahrenheit scale. The Fahrenheit scale of temperature is the common form of temperature measurement used in the United States and some parts of the Caribbean. It was created by the German physicist Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit in the early 18th century and adopted its measurement standards from a previous scale created by Ole Römer. In this scale, water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit and boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. The Fahrenheit temperature scale includes negative temperatures below 0 degree Fahrenheit. The coldest possible temperature, absolute zero, is negative 459.67 degrees Fahrenheit. The Fahrenheit temperature scale was in general common use in English-speaking countries. The Celsius or centigrade was employed in most other countries and for scientific purposes worldwide. The conversion formula for a temperature that is expressed on the Celsius scale to its Fahrenheit representation is degrees Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times degrees Celsius plus 32. The Celsius scale. Outside the United States, most of the world uses the Celsius scale to measure temperatures. Two versions of the Celsius scale were created in the early 18th century, one by Swedish scientist Anders Celsius and another by the French Jean-Pierre Christin. The Celsius scale is sometimes referred to as the centigrade scale because it is based on a 100-degree division between the freezing and boiling points of water. Water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius and boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Because of how the boiling and freezing points are arranged, each degree of Fahrenheit is 1.8 times the size of a degree Celsius. Like Fahrenheit, Celsius includes negative temperatures. Absolute zero falls at negative 273.15 degrees Celsius. The following formula can be used to convert a temperature from its representation on the Fahrenheit scale to the Celsius scale value. Degrees Fahrenheit Celsius equals 5/9 times the quantity degrees Fahrenheit minus 32. The Celsius scale is in general use wherever metric units have become accepted, and it is used in scientific work everywhere. The Kelvin scale. The Kelvin scale was adopted from the Celsius scale in the 19th century by the British scientist William Thomson, later Lord Kelvin. Kelvin was designed in order to set the 0 point of the temperature scale at absolute zero. Because of this, absolute zero is located at 0 Kelvin. Note that Kelvin does not use degrees in its notation. You can convert from Celsius to Kelvin by adding 273.15 to a Celsius temperature. Water freezes at 273.15 Kelvin and boils at 373.15 Kelvin. Because of its direct relation to absolute zero, Kelvin temperature is widely used in scientific equations and calculations. For instance, the ideal gas law used to show the relationship between mass, pressure, temperature, and volume uses Kelvin as its standard unit. The Rankin scale, while not widely used, apart from some US engineering fields, the Rankin scale provides an absolute zero-based equivalent to the Fahrenheit scale. Essentially, it is for the Fahrenheit scale what Kelvin is for Celsius. The scale was created by Scottish scientist William John Rankin in the 19th century, shortly after the creation of the Kelvin scales. Temperatures can be converted from Fahrenheit to Rankin by adding 459.67. Absolute zero is thus located at 0 degree Rankin. Water freezes at 491.67 degrees Rankin and boils at 671.67 degrees Rankin. To summarize, here are the following temperature relationships. Degrees Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times degrees Celsius plus 32. Degrees Celsius equals 5/9 times quantity degrees Fahrenheit minus 32. Kelvin equals degrees Celsius plus 273.15, and degrees Rankin equals degrees Fahrenheit plus 459.67. This chart shows some temperature readings in Celsius, degrees Fahrenheit, Kelvin, and degrees Rankin. Let us do some examples now. Example number 1. Convert the following Celsius temperature to Fahrenheit. Letter A, 25 degrees Celsius. Using the formula, degrees Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times degrees Celsius plus 32. Substituting the values, 9/5 times 25 plus 32 equals 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Letter B, minus 40 degrees Celsius. Again, using the formula, degrees Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times degrees Celsius plus 32, and substituting the values and simplifying, we have negative 40 degrees Celsius equals negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Example number 2. Convert the following Fahrenheit temperatures to Celsius. Letter A, 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Using the formula, degrees Celsius equals 5 over 9 times quantity degrees Fahrenheit minus 32. Substituting the values, 5 over 9 times 54 minus 32 equals 12.22 degrees Celsius. Letter B, minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, we expect that the answer here is minus 40 degrees Celsius also. So let's verify. Using the formula, degrees Celsius equals 5 over 9 times degrees Fahrenheit minus 32, and substituting the values, we really get negative 40 degrees Celsius. Example number 3. The lowest outdoor temperature ever recorded on Earth is negative 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit, recorded at Vostok Station, Antarctica in 1983. What is this temperature on the Celsius, Kelvin, and Rankin scales? Solution. So, degrees Celsius equals 5 over 9 times quantity degrees Fahrenheit minus 32. Substituting the values and simplifying, we get degrees Celsius equals negative 89.22 degrees. So, to solve for the Kelvin, we have degrees Celsius plus 273.15 since degrees Celsius is now negative 89.22, so we add 273.15, we get 183.93 Kelvin. And degrees Rankin equals degrees Fahrenheit plus 459.67, and we get a value of 330.87 degrees Rankin. Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe.